So the Gorton and Denton by-election is a victory. Yes, it's a victory for sectarian voting. It's a victory for cheating in elections. Back in 2015, there was a by-election in Oldham. I called it bent and corrupt because of the way that postal votes were being corralled within the Muslim community. The same happened again in Peterborough in 2019. And, you know, I even fought a court case against what I saw when someone turned up with a supermarket bag with 1,000 postal votes in. Well, in some ways, I've been on my own in trying to call out fraud in politics. But last night, at the close of play, a very reputable organisation called Democracy Volunteers said in 12% of voting cases they had witnessed family voting. That means a husband and wife or more going into the privacy of the polling station and effectively watching how the other member of the family votes. This is illegal under the law, and yet it appears that the council didn't do anything about it. So now there's a debate about fraud in voting. That's a very, very good thing. But I return to the theme. It's postal voting that is being abused massively in this country. We need to get rid of the list. The only people that should ever vote by post are those who are elderly, infirm, or living or working abroad. That's got to be done. What conclusions do we draw? Well, our vote was good. I'm very, very pleased we doubled our vote. The implications of our vote are that right across the north of England, on the 7th of May and elsewhere, in those elections, we are going to do phenomenally well. Starmer has a massive problem. He's on the way out. He won't survive long beyond May the 7th because the momentum on the left is now moving towards the Greens. What about the Conservatives? In 2019, they got 10,000 votes in the Gorton and Denton constituency. Last night, they got 700 votes, less than 2%, their lowest score in a by-election in their entire history. Starmer's on the way out. The Tory party is completely finished. There's a resurgent hard left working now with sectarian politics. And emboldened, off the back of it, the Churchill statue in London has been vandalised overnight, calling it a Zionist and saying globalise the intifada. We are in very, very big trouble, and the only party that will fight this, that will turn this around, will clean up the voting system, is Reform.
I don't think so. I think the message yesterday is a resounding rejection of Keir Starmer and this Labour government, the damage that they're doing to our economy, the consequences for people's lives, all of those broken promises to farmers, to pensioners, to anybody who pays council tax actually. That's the message from yesterday. When it comes to our bit in that, nobody was expecting us to win yesterday. In a by-election, people rally around the parties that are most likely to win in that place on that day. That's exactly what happened there. If you look at Labour won a huge majority at the last general election. A few years earlier, they got massacred in the Chesham and Amersham by-election, falling from 13% of the vote to 1%. That's what happens in by-elections. People at home know it. But we've heard allegations. They all need to be investigated by the police, by the Electoral Commission. It all needs to be looked at. At the same time, we've seen the council disputing the fact that nobody raised any issues during the course of the polls, and these issues were only raised when votes started getting counted. Needs to be investigated. Questions need to be asked. Nigel Farage will not be a happy man this morning. I imagine he's very disappointed with the result and the outcome of that election. He claimed he could win it. It hasn't happened. There are lots of different ways that elections happen in different parts of the country. As we said, by-elections, they're about rallying behind the people in that seat who can win on that day. We were on fire. We were fifth in that seat at the general election. It wasn't somewhere people were anticipating us winning, just like that Chesham and Amersham by-election. The Labour government won a huge majority in the general election. That by-election just a few years earlier, their vote fell from 13 to 1.6%, so it's kind of the way by-elections. Well, before this election, people were talking about the fact, well, Labour MPs were talking about the fact that this would be existential. Losing to the Greens in this seat would be existential for the government. We've already had a Labour MP this morning calling for him to go. Absolute disaster for the government. But actually, some people would say it's the result that they deserve for what they've done to this country in the last 18 months.
Matthew Goodwin, you hoped to be Reform's 9th MP. What went wrong? Because it wasn't even close.
Sectarianism. That's what happened. We more than doubled our vote. We're in Labour's backyard. We're the second political force in this seat. We have planted a flag in Northern England. You will have seen the reform boards up and down this constituency. More than 10,000 people voted for us. We can go on to Labour constituencies across Northern England, into the Red Wall, into Wales. We can win those seats. We will win those seats. Again, the Greens can only pull this kind of result off in a small number of seats. We can do this everywhere. Our ground game is the best game in British politics. We're not resorting to sectarian politics to get us over the line. I think we've run a very professional campaign. I think we've connected with the local people. You know, again, not many British people want legalised crack cocaine and heroin, open borders, scrapping our nuclear deterrent. The reason the Greens have won here, let's be honest, is exactly what that report was warning about a few hours ago. Family voting, otherwise known as sectarianism. Now we can have a conversation in this country about sectarianism and what it's doing to our democracy, or we can pretend it's not happening. It's clearly happening.
So talking about divisive.
I mean, it's a phenomenal result, most importantly for people in Gorton and Denton, but frankly, I think this sends a message of hope to the entire country. We have proven we can stop both the Reform Party and this failing Labour government. And actually that's with a plan to lower people's bills, protect the National Health Service and rebuild our public services. Hannah Spencer has been an incredible candidate. She's going to be an amazing MP, and I can't wait to see her get to work.
And what do you think it's going to mean for the people of Gorton and Denton to have Hannah, a local person, you know, representing them in Parliament?
I think it's going to mean an immense amount to them. And actually, how many plumbers do we have in Parliament for a start? This is someone who knows the value of work, who comes from the local area, who didn't get into politics because she wanted to be something, but because she wanted to do something. And the entire country, and especially Gorton and Denton, are about to see what a Green MP can get done. I have no doubt she will hold the Prime Minister to account on a whole range of issues. She will not stop working tirelessly every single day. And you know what? For a politician, she's also going to be a lot of fun. And I think that can be underestimated sometimes.
Yeah, and on a wider national scale, obviously the importance of getting that extra MP in Parliament and also keeping reform out of Gorton and Denton.
This is going to transform the face of British politics. Look, this was our 127th target seat. That now shows there is no no-go areas for the Green Party. Wherever we campaign and wherever we work hard, we know when we genuinely connect with communities in the same way that Hannah Spencer has done, there is no seat we can't win. So what I'm absolutely on the lookout now for is the future Hannah Spencers, those people who maybe haven't been in politics before, who have got really, really involved, who are feeling hopeful, who know they can do it. I have no doubt that she's going to inspire a new generation of Green MPs.
Yeah, and the importance of a foothold in the north for you as well.
Massive. For far too long we've underperformed in the north, and there's been no reason for that other than we've not had our first breakthrough. Now people in the north see a Green MP, they'll know that no vote is a wasted vote, and actually if you vote Green, you can get Green. Whether you're facing a terrible Reform Party or a failing Labour government, voting Green means you can get a brilliant MP from your local area who will be there fighting for you every single day.